Hey, this is Asta Mewada. Welcome to my channel. Today we are doing India, Earth's surface, climate, vegetation, and wildlife. In this video, we are going to cover Earth's surface, that is, the physical divisions of India. So let's begin. India is marked by a diversity of features like mountains, northern plains, the Peninsula Plateau, the coastal plains, and the islands. Let us understand each one. In the north are the snow-capped mountains, the Himalayas. It guards our northern boundary. The parallel north-south mountain range is divided into three parts. Number 1. The Greater Himalayas or Himadri mountain range that lies to the extreme north. The highest mountain peak of the world, that is Mount Everest, lies here. Number 2, to the south or the middle range, is the Central Himalayas or the Himachal mountain range. Here we find many tourist spots like Ladakh and Manali, along with pilgrimage spots like Kedarnath, Badrinath and Gangotri. And last, number 3, to the south of the middle range lies the Shivalik or the outer Himalayas. To the south of the Himalayas lies Ganga, Satluj, Yamuna, Brahmaputra and the vast fertile plains made up of alluvial deposited by the rivers and their tributaries. These lands are very fertile and hence suitable for agriculture. This is the reason that this area has a high density of population. To the west of India lies the Thar Desert, where there is more heat and less rainfall, leading to less vegetation. To the south we have the Peninsula Plateau, which is a triangular form. This has the Aravalli range in the south, west, the Vindhyas and the Satpura range in the north, and the Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats towards the south. Please note the Aravalli range is the most ancient mountain range of the world. River Narmada and Tapi flow from Vindhya and Satpura range from the east to the west and meet the Arabian Sea. Most of the rivers flow eastwards because of the tilt shift in the peninsula region when the Indian plate collided with the Eurasian plate, and that resulted in the crack in the joint and Western Ghats being uplifted. Now coming to the Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats in the southern plateau. As you can see in the map, the Eastern Ghats are situated to the east of the southern plateau and the Western Ghats are situated to the west of the southern plateau. Mark that the Western Ghats are in a row, whereas the Eastern Ghats are intermittent, that is broken. Let us understand this. The Eastern Ghats are a discontinuous range of mountains along India's eastern coast. The Eastern Ghats run from the Ayodhya hills in the state of West Bengal and pass through Odisha, Andhra Pradesh to Tamil Nadu in the south, passing some parts of Karnataka as well as Telangana. The Western Ghats is a mountain range that covers an area of 1,60,000 square kilometers in a stretch of 1600 kilometers, parallel to the western coast of the Indian peninsula, passing the states of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra and Gujarat. Now since these plateaus are made of volcanoes, you will find a lot of minerals here. Also note the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats, they meet at the Nilgiri hills. To the east of the Eastern Ghats and west of the Western Ghats lie the coastal plains. The western coastal plain, again please mark, is narrower than the eastern coastal plain. Some of the east flowing rivers are Godavari, Mahanadi, Kaveri and Krishna. They form a fertile delta region and meet the Bay of Bengal. The Brahmaputra and the Ganga form a vast delta of Sundarban in the Bay of Bengal. That is, the Sundarbans is a mangrove area in the delta formed by the confluence of the Ganges, Brahmaputra and Meghna river in the Bay of Bengal. There are two island groups in India. Andaman and Nicobar Island, these lie to the southeast of the Bay of Bengal. And you have the Lakshadweep Islands made of corals in the Arabian Sea to the west of the coast of Kerala.